Greetings everyone and welcome to my little festival. I just want to start by expressing my excitement about this particular analysis with In today's video, we will be looking at the design choices of Digimon's latest rising star, Ponchomon. Coming out of seemingly nowhere, Ponchomon is the unexpected evolved form of Palmon, becoming the new king of Digimon and capturing the hearts of Digifans in the process. But just what exactly is Ponchomon, and why does it look the way it does? Well, I'm excited to introduce to you a new segment of the series called What's in a Name? Ponchomon's name refers to the poncho, a piece of garment worn to keep oneself protected from the elements, such as heat, wind, or rain. While it's unclear exactly when ponchos were first made, some sources claim that indigenous peoples that lived in the Andes, the Atacama people, wore ponchos even before the European colonization of both North and South America. In its most basic form, the poncho is typically just a single piece of fabric with an opening in the center for the head to go through. In more recent times, ponchos are worn as fashionable extra clothing for both men and women. More famously though, they are strongly associated to Latin American cultures. The poncho is just one of several cultural references that make up Ponchomon's design, which we are about to get into in just a moment. This has been What's in a Name? Now, let's talk about Ponchomon's actual design elements. The more you look at it, the deeper this rabbit hole seems to get. Ponchomon's appearance is more or less a visual amalgamation of Latin American cultural references. To begin with, it's a cactus. Remember when I mentioned the indigenous people living in the Andes? Just west of those mountains is one of the driest places on Earth, the Atacama Desert. Home to many species of cacti, it is believed that the ancient Atacama people that lived there relied on certain fruit-bearing cactus plants as a source of food. Over time, the cactus has also become strongly associated with Latin American cultures, even becoming an important element to the coat of arms of Mexico. Speaking of Mexico, Ponchomon wears a sombrero, the eponymous poncho, and even has a pair of maracas. All of these are visual signifiers of Ponchomon's design being based on Latin American cultures. That aside, Ponchomon is also inspired by two other Digimon that came before it, Togemon and Bakemon. Ponchomon inherited Togemon's cactus design, the hollow eyes, and the boxer fighting style. On the other hand, Bakemon lends its ghostly drapes and beastly teeth into the mix. Only a few years later, Togemon's ex-antibody form's appearance derives from Ponchomon. According to the Digimon Encyclopedia, Ponchomon is a rather oddball case. Apparently, if a Togemon dies from mysterious circumstances, it becomes a Ponchomon. Or it could be a Digimon that owes its existence from Latino music becoming a part of the network. Or maybe Patamon armored digivolves with the Digimental of Purity to become Ponchomon. Or maybe Toei is just doing whatever they want and we just shouldn't think too hard about it. Ponchomon's first real anime appearance was in Digimon Tamer's Battle of Adventurers, where it had an extremely important role that... Oh, never mind. Ponchomon's most recent anime appearance in the 2020 reboot caught almost everyone by surprise. To begin with, this isn't even the first time the reboot did alternate evolutions, but when it happened to Palmon, we were somehow still caught off guard. In Ponchomon's debut episode, Etamon and Volcamon's sound energy is the cause of the abnormalities of the chosen children's Digimon partners, including Palmon of course. Palmon's vines were uncontrollably long and her flower grew large enough to even trap Patamon. The lead-up to the evolution sequence were all vague but intentional references to the different explanations of Ponchomon's evolution. Before the Digivolution begins, Palmon becomes enamored by the ensuing rap battle. She busts out a maraca, which she does because of Mimi's terrible but inspired attempt at singing in Spanish, and this signals the influence of Latino music in the area. As she proceeds to evolve, Etamon and Volcamon fire off musical energy, which seemingly alters the Digivolution sequence. Let's also not forget that Patamon was inside Palmon's flower during evolution until he got ejected out just as the sequence ends. This is the last reference to Ponchomon's lore, since Patamon more or less interacted with the Crest of Purity. Well, sort of. Close enough. And with that, Ponchomon manifests. Now a Ghost-type Digimon, Ponchomon can use Blood Dance Maracas version, an energy-based attack that Togemon previously lacked. This attack is powerful enough to nullify the combined might of Love Serenade and Big Bang Voice. Ponchomon also inherited the evasive and tricky movements of a ghost, allowing it to keep up with Etamon and Volcamon's relentless attacks. But of course, some things never change, and Ponchomon closes the battle with the boxing techniques it inherited from Togemon, knocking out Etamon and Volcamon with Tequila Knuckle. As a last bit of trivia, tequila is an alcoholic drink that originated from the eponymous city of Tequila, which is located in, you guessed it, Mexico. Tequila is made from the blue agave plant. Although this is clearly not a cactus, it is considered a succulent, which actually makes it closely related to the cactus. Apparently, Tequila Knuckle can intoxicate the opponent, so is that what's happening to Etamon here? With a victory by knockout, Ponchomon is declared the King of Digimon. This sure as hell was a weird and wonderful episode. We have made it to the end of the video. You know, for a Digimon that gets its name from a piece of garment, researching about its design elements was quite the learning experience that, surprisingly, had a lot of depth. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm gonna go binge on some Latino music. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and subscribe to my channel for more content. Thank you so much for watching, and train hard, Tamers!
熱きの血が完全抜けて誰もが土下座され限界知らない感じない無理ってとこからあと10回筋トレの負荷はしなくてもキングの風格が溢れ出すバーベルダンベル腹も減る空腹を満たすプロテインキングオン